Yes, ma'am.
You can start now, sir.
Okay, ma'am. So, good evening, one and all, coordinators of this FDP, all organizing team, distinguished speakers, and audio participants. I, Professor Amol Kangle, on behalf of NK Orchid College of Engineering and Technology, Solapur, and ATAL Academy, extend a very warm welcome to the third day of insightful ATAL FDP, from ideas to innovation, a patent landscape approach to science and technology correlations. As we know, friends, it's been an enriching journey so far. We are delighted by exploring new perspectives and knowledge together in last 2 days. And today, it will be equally engaging and rewarding. Like last 2 days, we have exciting sessions lined up, which includes patent landscape analysis in biotechnology and pharmaceutical by Vijay Kumar Shivpuje sir, and patent, a case study by Dr. Padmakar Kelkar sir. Today's topic will add immense values to our professional growth. So let's make most of today by keeping ourselves engaged and openness for learning. Moving on to our first session for today, it's my privilege to invite Mr. Vijay Kumar Shivpuje sir for his talk on the topic patent landscape analysis in biotechnology and pharmaceuticals. Before sir proceed, let me take this opportunity to introduce today's first eminent speaker, Mr. Vijay Kumar Shivpuje sir. Mr. Vijay Kumar Shivpuje, currently working as a director at Lex Business Solutions, which is knowledge process outsourcing firm practicing in patent and designs. He's also working as a CEO, Edu Literati, which is an online education platform working actively in area of online education and have collaborated with various institutions and universities for skill-based activities. His education qualifications are: he's a Bachelor of Pharmacy, that is B.Pharm, from Government College of Pharmacy, Karad. He's a Master of Pharmacy from Pune College of Pharmacy, Pune. He also holds a bachelor's degree in laws from Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, Sambhajinagar. He has a vast experience of 20 years in pharma corporates, law firms, and consultancy in IPR fields. To list out some, he has worked as research scientist IPR in Ranbaxy, senior scientist associate IPR, Workhard Limited, manager IPR, Microlabs Limited, assistant manager IPR, Glenmark Pharma, assistant general manager IPR, Microlabs Limited, senior consultant, wherein his specializations were pharmaceuticals and biotechnology patents. He has been entrusted with numerous esteemed honorary positions like IPR advisor, ASSOCHAM, the Associate Chamber of Commerce and Industry of India, Mentor of Change, Atal Tinkering Lab, Atal Innovation Mission, Niti Aayog, Government of India, Mentor for Startup India, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Government of India. Talking about his awards, he has been awarded as IP Mentor of the Year in 2024 by ASSOCHAM. Also awarded by ASSOCHAM for outstanding contribution in IPR awareness in year 2021. He's a member of Independent Expert Committee for evaluating courses of NEET 2.0, initiated by AICTE, Ministry of Education. He's a registered patent agent, Indian Patent Office. He has conducted more than 300 IPR awareness programs at various universities, colleges, bar associations, incubation centers, custom offices, industry chambers, MSME, etc. It's indeed a privilege to have such multi-talented and multifaceted resource person for our FDP. Now I hand over session to Sri Vijay Kumar sir and request him to start his session.
Thank you so much, sir, and a very good evening to all. I just wanted to confirm once if I'm clearly audible to everyone.
Yes, sir, you are clearly
Yes, sir.
audible.
Great. Thank you so much. It's indeed a pleasure for me as well to be here for this ATAL online 6-day faculty development program on ideas to innovation, a patent landscape approach to science and technology correlations, which has been conducted by NK Orchid College of Engineering and Technology, Solapur, in association with ATAL Academy. I understand that we have got most of the faculty members who have actually joined in for this particular session today. And just before I move ahead, I just wanted to confirm with the organizers how much time I have so that accordingly I'll manage my session actually. So I've been given almost 75 to 90 minutes.
Sir, you have been given time up to 7:15.
7:15.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Okay, great. Thank
yes.
you. Thank you so much. As I understand, all of us are the faculty members who have joined for this AICT ATAL FDP. I remember those days when I was actually studying, and that point of time we didn't have internet basically when I was doing my UG or PG. Internet was there, but it was not actually accessible. What has changed in last 20 odd years, and that's what is reflected in the, I would say, the theme of this specific program as well. Over a period of time, and although I'm not a teacher basically, but I'm very closely connected with lot of universities, academic institutes. I have been part of lot of IQACs, IICs. I'm working with a lot of startups, incubation centers, and I'm fully aware of the academic ecosystem that we have, and I also, to some extent, know the reasons why we have all of us have actually gathered here. 20 years back, probably what was expected from a teacher was maybe beyond your teaching. You were expected to conduct at least some kind of research at your own institution basically. Moving ahead, the things changed, and now what has happened is we have got there is a expectation of filing some patent, doing some innovation as such. Then there was expectation of more number of research papers coming up. uh Things are moving again, and we came up with a big bang program of Startup India, Make in India, and the things started changing. Now we are expected to actually have some kind of initial, at least, workshops on startups, the innovation, entire innovation ecosystem, basically, as well as now what is expected as an institute beyond teaching, learning, research. What is expected, you should create entrepreneurs from your institute as well. That's what NEP says. Government doesn't have any jobs to offer. Private industries do not have much jobs to offer nowadays. So it is expected that the students should actually come up with some great ideas. The young generation have amazing energy actually. What is expected through this maybe ATAL program or a lot of other policy programs or that are happening pan India is you should have an ecosystem at locally at your institute which should encourage the ideation, innovation, maybe entrepreneurship, coming up with newer startups now. But the real key question herein is that are we as a faculty members, uh, are we prepared for this change? Can we do it actually locally? Now, one of the major challenges most of the academic institutions are facing nowadays is also more on the administrative front, wherein everyone is involved into n number of things simultaneously. You have some commitment by NAC, you have some commitment by NIRF, you have your own IQSC, you have your own IIC, you have your entrepreneurship cell. Tomorrow university asks for some data, you become autonomous, you have to conduct the exams, you have to have your own question papers, you have to have your private universities, you have a different issue. Now, doing all this, actually, beyond that, you are expected to kind of have research startups, and actually not only doing the research or filing patent, but then actually having those products commercialized as well. But can we do that? Are we are we each one of us is having that all-rounder capability to do that as such? If you ask me, the uh, blunt answer is absolutely no. It's probably, if you ask me, it is not possible for us to have honestly these kind of all the activities done by one institute or one individual or one committee, basically. What is important is having that entire ecosystem, and that's where my role is. Let me also, of course, beyond the introduction that has been given about me, let me also tell you where are we actually making ground level impact in the education system when we are working with the startups, the incubators, IICs, IQSCs, the universities, the autonomous colleges as such, pan India, with more than 50 universities and more than 100 institutes as such. Let me also introduce myself as someone who is from a very small town. I am from Latur. I, in fact, run my operations from Latur and Mumbai. I'm also first generation entrepreneur. I worked for 12 years in the industry and started my own venture in 2017 to as a knowledge process outsourcing company. 7 8 years back, when we started approaching the academic institutions, that point of time there was a very strong resistance. I approached simply to conduct some IPR awareness programs. There was a very strong resistance, हमको IPR नहीं चाहिए. And of course, I was approaching from business reasons, let's say. I was approaching from a perspective of creating awareness, basically, about IPR. And there was a very strong resistance. No, we don't need IP. We don't need patents. And look at the transition that has happened between 2017 when I started and 2025 today, that more or less I had to conduct 300 plus sessions about IPR awareness, I would say. And that's a kind of need at every academic institution level. Our role as a firm is not only to create IP awareness, but also to facilitate the idea to patent grant or design registration, basically. So we are helping the individuals, the startups, the universities, everyone to frame IPR policy, to have a local level ecosystem at the college or the university, to have some kind of ecosystem which would help everyone, not only students. As I said, students have a really amazing energy, basically. What is important is to guide them in a proper direction as such. And for an institute or university, these activities are going to help in terms of your KRAs, be it with respect to, I would say, the NAC accreditation, NBA accreditation, or the NIRF rankings, or whatever you are actually doing as a part of IIC, you're doing it as a part of IQAC as such. We are, so that's how we started filing patents, filing designs. Over a period of time, Now we have got a case almost 400 plus cases wherein we have filed patents, we have got them granted as well. Now the question is, everyone is asking, sir, हमें patent तो मिल गया, what should we do with this actually? Can you sell this for us? Can we commercialize this? Let me tell you an interesting, rather two interesting examples, which each one of you can correlate to actually. The first one comes from the very famous movie Three Idiots as such, wherein we have two characters. One is played by Funsuk Wangdu, which is Amir Khan. Actually, he is a scientist. He's a scientist as such. He has developed a lot of IP. He has got 400 plus patents as such. And then there is another character, which is his friend and classmate, who comes down. He's giving him so-called $1 million actually, because there is a IP, or there are certain patents. Now that guy wants to actually, so the name is Chatur Ramlingam. Chatur Ramlingam wants to commercialize some products. He cannot do that because patents are actually with Funsuk Wangdu. We have been so much fascinated with this story. I'll tell you another story. I understand many of the faculties are from Maharashtra. Uh, uh, if you have seen this movie, Marathi movie called De Dakka, which has been, there is a character played by Makarand Anaspure, who comes up with some part of automobiles actually, uh, wherein it enhances the fuel efficiency. And he has his dashing mehuna who sells that part, and uh, not aware of actually, like, what it is as such. At the end of the movie, it is shown that the Makarandanaswara's
Excuse
friend
me,
comes
sir.
to him.
The slide is not moving, sir.
I understand. I haven't yet started with the slides, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. I think I'm speaking in a much interesting way than the slides, sir. Right? Now, so at the end of the movie, it is shown that Makarand Anaspuri's friend comes to him and tells him that, अरे don't worry, we have got a patent. तुझ्या नावावरती आपण एक patent file केलंय. That company cannot sell the product now. We are so much fascinated with the term patents actually. But in both these cases, we are neglecting one important fact, that patent is never sold. Patent cannot be sold. Let me come up with a disclaimer for this. What I mean to say is, at the end of the day, so
छान आहे.
for example, yes, at the end
Patent
of the day,
वरती.
yeah, at the end of the day, for example, I have got this water bottle. The price is, let's say, 20 rupees. Just because if it is patented, would you pay 30 or 40 or 100 rupees for this? The answer is absolutely no. So how does the patent system actually work? The patent system works on a principle that whatever technology you have, you get a legal protection for that. This is a negative right as such. And when I say this, it means that there is a product, your technology should have value first. Your product, what research you are doing as a part of ME, MTech, PhD, that research, does it have a value in the market? If the answer is yes, then the next question comes, is this protected by patent? Now, what is happening actually on ground level is, everyone wants patents. Everyone wants patents. I'm there to sell the patents. I would say patent services basically. That hey, I am a patent agent. I'm a patent attorney. I can get you a patent granted for sure. And everyone feels that if I get a patent, I would have someone Chatur Ramlingam coming to me, giving me $1 million actually. No, that's not the case. That's not the case. If this product has a value in the market, if you can sell this, and and if this is protected by patent, then only you get money out of it actually. That's how the patent system works. And there are a lot of myths in the patent system. Basically, I'm going to crack all those myths today with my session actually today. And as we had this specific request by the number 285, now I have got slides, sir, and I hope you can see the slides. I'll start with my actual session with this specific background. And let me tell you, I'm a pharmacist, I am working in life sciences, but the way I have framed my entire presentation, it would be applicable to everyone. It's just not that we are working with pharma biotech. Of course, the topic that was allotted to me was pharma biotech, but we are working with electronics engineering, we are working with mechanical, chemical engineering is our kind of forte actually. We've been working with everyone, including the engineering institution, a lot of startups, biomedical engineering companies, and all as such. Sitting in Latur, let me tell you, in 8 years, we have got enough business generated, as I said, as a first generation entrepreneur. Beyond that, we are working with institutions which are among top 5 in NIRF ranking, as well as we have been working with corporates which are in US and Europe actually, as such. So this is a brief background. We have been doing the patents as such for everyone, and I'll be happy to assist for any kind of queries that comes during the session as such or later as well. Now, let us start with this very first, as I said, the intent, why most of you are here for the FDP as well. Nee, it's mandatory as per our KRA, for my promotion, for my NAC, for my NBA, for my CV, unless I attend the FDP, unless I come up with some kind of IP, sorry, I can't move ahead. But the intent of all these agencies or filing patent is not actually to just get the patent granted. The intent is very clear, how that ecosystem at your institution, at your university, that makes, that's absolutely fine. At our time when I was studying, you were studying, let's say, we may not have this kind of ecosystem, but just look at our kids actually. My 5-year-old daughter, she is so much creative in terms of her activities that I am amazed to see that what would happen with this creativity tomorrow if there is no direction given to that probably. So the intent actually, I would say, is to make sure that you have that ecosystem at your college. Just don't think of your college जहाँ पे students आ रहे हैं, but think your kids would go tomorrow at some other institution as well. What kind of ecosystem do you want for your kids? What are you going to give to your next generation basically, right? So if you look at broader policy perspective, the intent of your NIRF, NAC, IIC, IQSC, ATAL is very clear. कल अगर कोई बच्चा आपके पास आता है, you are student, you are a research guide, you are PhD student, you are master students, you are undergrad student actually, if they come to you and ask a very simple question that what should I do? Sir, I won this prize in Avishkar. I got the first prize. and that's something which is a good achievement as far as the student is concerned, or even institute or for faculty as well. What are you doing with that actually? What is happening with your thesis actually? All these theses, master's theses, PhD theses, are either in your departments or in your library or on Shodh Ganga. Nothing is happening beyond that. What kind of ecosystem are we creating at academic institution level? What is intended basically through all these schemes, or even the FDP, this kind of FDP, wherein we say idea to innovation. Yes, the students are, and let me tell you, मी लातूरचा आहे, लातूरमध्ये शिकलो आहे. I know what kind of inventions are there in rural India as well, I would say. And rather, I'll tell you, we have got better ecosystem as far as the creativity is concerned. What is important as an institution is more number of collaborations. You just cannot do alone everything. When I started my journey of entrepreneur as a patent attorney with Patlex 8 years back, that point of time, I was under an impression that I am the one who can do everything. No, that's not the case, actually. With so much of low workload, more on administrative front, research front, teaching front, no, you cannot do everything at your place. What is important is you need an ecosystem. Now we as Patlex have got ecosystem wherein you ask us any question from ideation to commercialization. Yes, I either have an answer, or I know someone who can give you the correct guidance or advice. And that's what is more significant when you think of the research processes or the ideation and innovation basically. What is again, looking at from a very broader perspective of, I would say, the theme of the program, if I say, ideas to innovation basically. In this entire journey, the idea which is in your mind to innovation, let's say, which is actually a product which is launched, let's say, and specifically in the context of science and technology, that's where we are speaking about the patents as. So there have been a lot of myths actually about patents. People have a lot of misconceptions about patents. As I said, we conducted more than 300 sessions pan India in science colleges, arts, commerce, engineering, medical college, dental college, Ayurveda. You name the faculty, I have actually conducted a session there about patent filings as such. Now, and I have got a lot of very interesting questions, funny questions as well, that were asked to me again and again. And what I have done is I've compiled those questions right here, actually, understanding what is patent and how the patent ecosystem works. The generally a scientist, as I understand, most of your faculties, you are at least aware of the concept of patent, that it's a right, your technical invention can be protected under this. The very first question that have been asked is, when should I file for patent application? Is it at the time of my thesis is over, my project is over, undergrad project is over, or my master's or PhD thesis is over? So the right answer to this is that whenever you have an hypothesis in place, that point of time, you should go for patent filing. Why is it so? Because we have a crystal clear system of first to file. That means the one who files first, the one who files first would get the patent. And unfortunately, we are in a very highly competitive, dynamic environment. The VUCA world, that's what we say. The same idea can be stuck in different minds at different location, let's say, or more or less, one paper gets published, 10 people can actually get influenced, basically by that paper, and can come up with the same technology or same product as. right? So the moment you have an hypothesis, no need to wait for the actual generation of the data for filing of a patent. Basically, we have a concept called as a provisional patent application that you can for sure do. Why should I file patent application? When we actually, the intent or what we say generally is that patent application is filed generally to protect the my invention, right? That's what everyone says. Let me be honest, I had included it right here. These are the actual reasons why everyone is filing the patents. Is it a good reason or bad? That depends on, I would say, you as an individual, as an institute, as a university, or your own priorities. But these are the actual reason, and there is nothing wrong, because unless you have that ecosystem, it is not expect. See, we cannot have those dynamic changes happening within a week or a day in our institute. Basically, maybe 5 years back, there was no patent filed. Maybe today there is a patent filed. After 5 years, there would be a patent granted. After 20 years, there would be a patent commercialized. And let us hope that in our lifetime, after 30 or 40 years, there is a product which is commercialized. And that's how the innovation or the businesses work. It never happens that you come up with a product, you sell that product, and you become billionaire. Actually, that's absolutely wrong myth. Why should I file a patent application? We have the concrete reason. What data do I need to file the patent application? Honestly, to start with, you don't need any kind of data. For with simple hypothesis, you can actually start with a provisional patent. But at the time of filing of the complete application, I would say definitely you need data for the support of, I would say, that particular invention, basically, right? So you need data, but at the time of complete initial filing, there is no data required for patent filing as such. That's a myth. Rather, I'll tell you an interesting fact. It is not necessary to conduct the experiment in lab to get a patent granted. Now that's a big question mark then on the entire patent system. It is not necessary to have working example in many cases as such. Need a hypothesis, need a proper reasoning for that, and the criteria for patentability, the novelty, the non-obviousness, the industrial applicability, and the I would say the section 3 applicability. If these criteria are satisfied, you can get a patent, basically. But definitely you need a very smart patent drafting agent for that answer. Now, this question is generally asked to me, why shall I take a help of a patent agent for filing as such? Let me answer it legally and practically how it works. Okay, legally it is not necessary to take a help of a patent agent. Every university, every institute, every individual, every student, every professor is allowed to file their own patent. It is not mandatory to take help of a patent agent. So why do you need my help or agent's help, basically? The reasons are simple. Firstly, let us compare it to research paper. Basically, research paper is a technical document. Patent bhi hamara, it is somewhat similar to research paper, but patent is a bit of, I would say, techno legal document. This legal part becomes challenging for a someone who has filed his or her own patent. Now how it works, I'll tell you. Many faculties, professors, or even students file their patent. They come to us at the time of examination report. What is examination report? I'll show you in few minutes actually. And that वहां तक सब कुछ ठीक है. Patent file, publish. The moment you get legal queries from the patent office, now you don't, okay, just for your information, lawyers or advocates are not allowed to practice at patent office. Let me repeat, lawyers or advocates are not allowed to practice at patent office. Only patent agent, rather all of you can appear for patent agent examination as well. Last year, we also conduct patent agent coaching classes, patent agent exam coaching classes. Last year, I had two professors, one from Nagpur and the other one from Pune. Actually, one from pharmacy, the other one from engineering. They cleared the patent agent exam and they are allowed to practice at patent office. Advocates and lawyers are not allowed, let me repeat this, unless they are patent agents. So that legal part is something which is challenging, and that's where, yeah, I think you should take a help of a patent agent as far as the patent filing process is concerned. Can I publish my research before or after patent filing? Before patent filing, absolutely no. After patent filing, yes, once a patent is filed, you can for sure, publish your research. Now, there is a provision under Indian Patent Act which allows you to even publish, but it's only in certain circumstances. As a policy, we recommend पहले file करो and then publish करो. If you file today, if you publish tomorrow, that's absolutely fine. Can I commercialize my invention after patent filing? Now, commercialization has nothing to do with patent filing. After yeah, sorry. So okay, I think okay, sorry. So commercialization has nothing to do with patenting actually. Why I'm saying so is patent rights are negative rights. If I have a patent, without my permission, others cannot launch. But it doesn't allow me to launch. It also doesn't allow me to launch basically. Commercialization after filing is fine. You can commercialize, but the process of commercialization has nothing to do with patenting process as such. How much is the cost for patent filing? Fortunately, Government of India has reduced the filing cost for academic institutions and universities. The official cost for filing a patent is just 1600 rupees, request for examination 4000 rupees, and early publication 2500. This turns out around 8100 rupees. That's the only cost patent office charges you for patent filing. Everything else goes to, I would say, uh, 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 I would say, goes to a agent or attorney basically, right? So that's how it works, and depending on what kind of agent you have, they would be charging you differently. Interesting question. Can I file the patent application without telling my institute or telling my guide? Oh, I mean, most of you would be afraid actually, but we get these kind of requests. Your students calling me, asking me. This happened in 2018 actually. One of the students from Nasik called me up. We signed a CDA. She shared the invention just before filing. She requested me, sir, एक request था. I said yes. So she was like, sir, I don't want to include my guide's name. Now, there's a pretty interesting, I would say, viewpoint actually. I was curious to ask why. Of course, she didn't have the answer. But then, is it legally allowed? And is it ethically correct? Now, let's not think of ethics, let's say, for the time being. Reason being that as the world is so much competitive, and especially when we are dealing with the next generation, at times it's very difficult to convince them on the ethical grounds actually. Is it legally allowed? Yes, it is allowed. The students can file the patent application without telling institute or guide. Rather, if a faculty leaves a college or university, he can file the invention without telling the previous institute. Patent office never asks you this kind of data. So, how should I avoid this then? UGC came up with a kind of model IPR policy for academic institution. Just like you have your so many policies, salary policy, the attendance policy, come up with uh, I would say uh, IPR policy at academic institution level. I'm sharing my number at the end. If any one of you, any institute wants IPR policy to be framed for their institute, I'll be happy to provide my assistance completely free of cost for setting up the IPR policy at your academic institution. That is the most important and crucial thing. I'll tell you the reason. Today, if someone files patent, no one is bothered. The patent gets published, no one is bothered. The patent gets granted, no one is bothered. Get a certificate, no one is bothered. The day if there is some money involved in that, everyone jumps in then. Now, to avoid this entire things of conflicts, as an academic institution, you must have a academic or what you call as a intellectual property rights policy. Can someone else file patent application for my invention? Yes, it's allowed. There is a way to legally protect it, but I would say what is important is it is better you avoid it and you file it first. When we have shared systems, shared labs, shared laptops, shared desktop, shared servers, server hack ho raha hai, right? Now that point of time, avoiding these risks is important. Now, next set of questions. These were about the patent filing basics, patent filing to grant. When does the application get published? I'll share that journey of a patent application from filing till grant in next few minutes. Generally, it takes 18 minutes, but with some extra fees, after paying some extra fees, it is something which maybe I would say can be published within a month time as well. Nowadays, we have a specific, I would say, a specific form which we file and the patent gets published as such. Now, how much time does it take to get the patent granted? Okay, from publication till grant, at least 6 months is mandatory. So from publication till grant, 6 months, before 6 months, patent office cannot grant a patent. As a firm, Patlex, we have got our best when we got one patent granted within, I would say, 6 months and 14 days time. That was the best that we could do actually. But from filing, publication, 6 months, only 6 months. Okay. So filing to publication, that we are actually removing. Now, so I remember speaking to, this happened with me when I was working with one of the MNCs in Mumbai. My R&D head called me up. My R&D head was almost 50 years old. He had 3 patents in his name. There was one guy who had come for interview who was 26 years old, and this 26 years old guy has 50 patents in his name. My boss, the R&D head, was confused. यार मैंने लाइफ में तो कुछ भी नहीं किया है. I am 50. I just got 3 patents. This guy at the age of 26 has got 50 patents in his name. My boss called me up. Vijay, can you just come inside? How can someone at the age of 26 have 100 patents, let's say? How is it possible? Matlab, he started research at zero and 25 years tak yearly 4 patents. 1 year, 2 years. Is it feasible? Practically, it is possible? No. Now, what everyone says about patent is patent publication. The very first question I asked him is, how many of them are granted? How many of them are granted? The answer is big zero. Filing publication doesn't assure you a grant of a patent basically. Filing to grant cost, since this is an ATAL program, I cannot actually promote my organization. I'm not allowed to. So if anyone is interested, can WhatsApp me. I'm sharing my number and email address at the end. But the filing and till grant cost as such is something at the patent office is just 8,100 rupees maximum. Everything else goes to the attorneys. Can I commercialize the invention after grant? I think we have already discussed this in detail. Would I be Funsuk Wangdu once my patent gets granted? If I get a patent granted, I see this very frequently on LinkedIn, on social media, Facebook, WhatsApp. Hey, I got a patent granted. Now I am looking for someone to commercialize this. Wait, your patent doesn't get commercialized. You won't get $1 million actually because you got a patent granted, but you can actually get a some money if this is the product, this is patented, and this can be commercialized. This has a commercial value. How many of us, while selecting a research project, look out for a commercial value? At least I would say earlier, we were always thinking of just one thing, research paper. Now, let's say we are thinking of patents, but then does it have a value? Do we think of commercial value? Absolutely no. Design and patent, people are confused. A design is a design. Design is how this looks. And let me tell you, if you are a scientist, if you are an engineer, if you are a pharmacist, if you are from biotech, if you are a scientist, design has zero value as far as the intellectual contribution is concerned. Why am I saying so? Patent is for technical use, technical utility. As a scientist, as a researcher, be it a basic research or applied research, we need to understand that we are not here to come up with the external outlook of a product. What kind of design an engineer comes up, these designs have something to do with its performance. The industrial design as a concept is just about how it looks, not about its performance as such. Now, these are some of the questions. Let me actually go take you through a simple journey of a patent filing till grant in the context of any kind of invention. I would say, be it pharma, be it biotech, be it electronics, be it computers, be it mechanical, chemistry, every invention across the world, if they are filing a patent in India, how does it actually go? What are the different steps? What are the different stages? And how it can actually be, I would say, you can get the invention granted basically. So let me just take you through the journey, and this is a live journey with the pharma cases actually, because the topic allotted to me was more related to pharma as such. Now, initially, whatever you have as such, as a thesis, as a project, basically, we sign a CDA, confidentiality disclosure agreement, with the academic institute or inventors or the university. We get a thesis or a research work from them. We generate a patentability report. This is an internal report generated by us as a team, whether your invention is novel, non-obvious, and has industrial applicability. Does it fall under Section 3? All these four things we actually check and let you know कि आपको पेटेंट मिलेगा कि नहीं. This is an internal report depending on my expertise. If I cannot understand your invention, I cannot give a patentability report. So it is very essential while choosing a patent agent, it is very essential that that agent or attorney should understand what you are doing as a researcher. Okay, we file the draft a patent, we file the patent, we get this something called as AFR, application filing receipt, which gives you date of filing 24th July 2020, patent application number 202021031705. Now, if you look at this, this is a patent application number. This nowadays comes into this format. The first four digits provide the year in which it is filed. Now, we have started with the 2025 series now. Okay. You would also have the name of the applicant, address, and the date basically. Now, this is what you can use in your all the communication on your CV, or in your NRF ranking, NAC, for your promotion related things or anything that is coming to you, basically. Okay. This is on the very day you file a patent application. The next one, the application gets published after 18 months. Now, look at this. Date of filing was 9th December. So it's 2019. It would get published on 9th June 2021. 18 months calculate karo. Normal, huh? If you pay extra fees, it can be within 1 month. But normal. So instead of 9th June, it got published on 11th June because publication happens only on Fridays. It would include the name of the applicant, the institute name, inventors, the title, and the abstract basically. Now, after that, you have something called as request for examination, which is you have to file a request for examination, which may be, I would say, something which is crucial for examination report being generated by the patent office as such. This examination, so once you file request for examination, you get something called as first examination report. We call in our language it as FER, first examination report. Now, what does FER include? This is a copy of a FER. Whether your invention is novel, it has an inventive step, industrial applicability, section 3 requirement, sufficiency of this. So these are the legal terminologies now. Yahan tak till publication, you as a faculty can do. The moment you get this, you have to reply to it. This is the reply that we prepared. It may include amendment in claims. It may include a detailed technical report actually, as well as reply to each of the objection. It's okay. Let me give you an analogy. It's something similar to some revisions that you have for your research paper. But herein, these revisions are more or less legal as such. And that's the challenge basically for this. Okay. And that's where a agent's role come into play as. We reply to the examination report and many a times the patent gets granted right at that stage. The patent gets granted right at that stage basically. So if examination report has, let us say, 5 objections, and if I am able to, and let me also tell you, this is not a agent's job, just an agent's job. Rather, the scientist knows it better कि मेरा technical advantage क्या है, मेरे invention में नया क्या है. So there is a role of a scientist as well. Then, if all the objections are cleared, the patent can get granted at this stage as well. 8 out of last 10 patents we got granted, where at this stage FER आया, FER reply किया, and the patent got granted. If not, then we have something called as a hearing notice actually. Now, hearing notice is somewhat similar to FER. Just give me a minute. So hearing notice also has objections only, but this is a last opportunity to convince the controller. There is an interesting thing about hearing. In hearing notice, when hearing notice comes, this is the first opportunity for applicant, even the inventor or the scientist, to discuss it, convince the controller or the patent examiner to grant the patent. अब यहाँ पे ऐसा नहीं है सर मैं बहुत दिनों से कोशिश कर रहा हूँ, आई एम डूइंग दिस. No, the convincing is based on the technical terms. Novelty, inventive step, whatever you have taught or you have learned during your UG, PG or PhD, or some web seminar, webinar, conference, all these things, based on this, you will convince the controller. Hearing is virtual. You can join. If next time there is a hearing, you can ask your agent, you are allowed to join as well. Okay. After the hearing, there is somewhat similar. We have submissions, and after that, you get this very beautiful certificate from patent office, which we call as a grant certificate. Look at this. This patent number, application number is different from patent number. Date of filing, date of grant is different. Patentee, the inventor name, the title of the invention, and the term is from 20 years from 13th April 2022. So 20 years term, everything with the emblem of government of India. This is how a I would say the a patent gets actually granted. But wait, this is not the end of the story. There are two things. After hearing, हमने जो देखा वो positive side देखा है. After the hearing, this is so this is not a registration or a compliance. Patent even can get refused as well. At this stage, after hearing, the patent even can get refused as well. Just a request to the organizers actually. Uh, uh, I hope there is no connectivity issue, but in between, if it happens, I'll rejoin because there is a power cut right now here and I'm on inverter. So it may happen that for few minutes I may log out, but then I'll rejoin if at all, if it happens as such. Okay. Now, after hearing, the patent may get refused as well. So it is very essential. Now, this entire journey from filing idea to patent grant, I tried to cover. Now, patent is very different compared to design. Now, design, let me tell you, although given by patent office or it is a registration of design, but it is not a patent, and there is no concept called as actually a design patent. It is either patent or design. Design is the industrial design. How does this look? The looks only. Okay. Now, industrial designs are very don't if you are a scientist, don't flash the designs as patents ever. That's the most, I would say, a thing. If you are on a global platform, let me honestly tell you, design patents, in US they call design patents actually. right? Now, what is important is these designs are only meant for fashion industry, jewelry design, actually, those clothing industry and all, not for scientists, not for actually technical invention. If you are an electronics engineer, if you are a mechanical engineer, if you're filing a patent, that's absolutely that's a research. You're not there to look the product attractive. You are there to make sure the machine works well. You are there to make sure the inverter works well. You're not there to look the inverter beautiful, the aesthetic look. That's what is protected under industrial design as such. I understand I've been given time till 7:15 for the session. This is my last slide just to let you know what we are doing, how we are actually working. We've been, I would say, working with a lot of engineering institutions. Biomedical engineering, chemical engineering is our forte, that's our expertise. Simple mechanical engineering inventions, electronics engineering. In fact, recently I've got one of my colleagues who had joined us from SPIT, Sardar Patel Institute of Technology. We are also working with some, I would say, universities, SNDT. Rather, we are one of the empaneled firm basically on Bharati Vidyapit deemed university. We're working with Cummins, SRTM. We recently signed another MOU. We work with uh, FCRIT, MGM. I mean, more or less Mumbai based some engineering institution. But major forte actually I would say is the life sciences, and we are also working with few incubators as well as a life sciences based startup as well. I'm actually going through your chats as well in between. Many of you have asked for my credentials, so this is my direct phone number and email address as such. I'm pretty hopeful that the time that was allotted till 7:15 I'm able to make a justice actually. I take this opportunity to thank every one of you. I can see like almost 199 participants, and bearing me, I would say, for an hour for with the session, and I'll be honestly happy to answer any kind of queries related to the session, related to startup, related to innovation, incubation, or generally about the commercialization or technology transfer as well. I understand this is a virtual session, and I must take this opportunity to thank the organizers, the coordinator, as well as the Honorable Principal, Vice Principal, and the ATAL Academy as well for providing me this opportunity. But honestly speaking, I would be really happy. I love speaking to students. I love speaking to teachers in person, I would say, because offline has a different impact. And why I'm saying this is I would say I'm a passionate teacher, but I never wanted to go into academics because most of the teachers are unfortunately doing everything else except teaching and research. And that's the reason I chose this middle path. And as I said, since I am very close to many of you, as I operate from Latur and Navi Mumbai, I mean, frequently I have actually traveled more than 30 states to conduct these IP awareness workshop. I'd be happy to get connected, visit you, or meet you in person to understand your requirements. Generally, we have got a really great ecosystem because I understand that I would say I understand that together only we can actually make an impact. Individually, actually, you cannot do that as such. So thank you so much, and I'm open for questions as such.
Yeah, thank you, Vijay sir. I must say, indeed, it was a very insightful session. And I must appreciate your engagement and contributions, which made it an enriching experience for us.
Thank you.
Now I'd like to proceed further. Now the forum is open for question answers. So if the participant has a question, you can raise your hands. There are two questions, sir. One is, in which case more possibility to get patent granted in basic research or applied research?
Oh, that's a pretty interesting question, actually, I would say. If it's a basic research in a field like physics, I would say, then probably there is no possibility of getting a patent granted, actually. But then, okay, so the theorems and the laws cannot be patented. But based on that theorem or the laws, like laws of Newton's law or what do you call Einstein's law, you cannot actually have a patent for them actually. But then if you come up with the end product for that, then in that case, it is pretty much possible to get patent. If you ask me about basic research in case of chemistry, biotech, pharma, absolutely yes, it is possible. But depending on what field, in few fields, the basic research cannot be patented because it may not have the industrial applicability as such. And to be very precise to your answer as well, to your question as well, unfortunately, we would see that in the kind of ecosystem, research ecosystem India has, or we as a region has, I would say, is we are more into applied research and unfortunately and not in basic research. But if there is anything, I'll be happy to help you, sir. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you. There is another question, like any tool for drawing device design for patent application?
Uh, Dr. Joseph, okay. I need to check with my team actually because it's been a really long time I drafted, I would say. But yes, there are tools, I would say, for drawing device design as such. And but I think generally the ones which you use, there is no specific requirement by the patent office. Any normal drawings are also absolutely fine. We have been filing patents like that, but then normal tools would do. But honestly, I don't know the right answer at this point of time. I have to check with my team actually. There is one person who does this the design drawing actually for the inventions as such, because in operations I'm not involved into drafting and doing this. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Next question, I think participant 225 wants to ask. Yeah, so you
Good
can
evening,
ask your
sir.
question.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, sir. Myself, Bhupen Kumar Yadav.
Yeah.
Sir, I want to view on scenario. I am doing currently my research work and on drug delivery. I have prepared a polymer on drug delivery, but apart from the drug delivery, we have come up with new application of that polymer in metal absorption. So we have published one paper regarding that, and we have mentioned the optimized condition for what are the condition in which we have made the polymer. Sir, so my question is that can we go for patent by using that polymer in application of drug delivery, since we have published an article
And
in
that
another
article
application?
is okay, I'll tell you one thing. This may be possible in case novelty may be there, but obviousness is a issue, sir, in that case. And we need to check the actual polymer and the similar polymers, whether they have been used in drug delivery earlier. So we need to check that non-obviousness part. Novelty may be there, actually. That means the polymer may not have been used in the drug delivery ever, let us say. For the time being, let's presume that. But we need to check the obviousness, the secondary criteria. Now that is more difficult to evaluate for you as a scientist. Actually, therein you would require a agent's help, and not as I mentioned, you cannot do it as a scientist. That inventive step is more crucial. Rather, 95% of the patent get refused based on inventive step or non-obviousness, basically. So it is very crucial. Sir, you can get connected with me. I'll be happy to help you in that specific case. If you ask me generally, yes, it is possible if it provides technical advantage. That's what my clear answer is, that technical advantage or non-obviousness. What it is, in fact, I can conduct an entire session on technical advancement or non-obviousness, basically. But then we need to check with respect to your invention. And of course, you cannot disclose it here because of the confidentiality issues. I hope I answered your questions.
Yes, sir, definitely. I will sure connect with you, sir, after the session.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
There is another question, like CATIA or CAD is okay for drawing?
Yes, CAD is I think even with my team, I have just texted them. Let me see if they're in office. CAD generally is used basically. The other one, CATI, I'm not sure if it's there. That's the one they're using actually.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Sir, actually, that is not a question as such, but
It's an answer for the
hmm,
drawings. I
yes,
understand.
sir, yes, sir, yes,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah.
Because in
CAD
CATIA,
is generally used, sir. CAD
you're
is
right, sir.
generally used. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Right, sir. And in CATIA, we can have a different perspective, top view, side view, bottom view, which can be used for filing it.
Uh, I need to see that, sir, because honestly, I'm not aware. As I said, I made footage. Yes, sir. Hello.
Hello. Is there any internet issue, internet connectivity issue?
Yes,
Unless
madam.
I think
Yes, from sir side, the video
it
is
is
not.
from sir's side, madam.
Sorry. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
I was out of network for some time. Yeah. I got a
Yeah.
question here. We have to take what caution we have to take to get process patent on synthesis of nanoparticles. Okay. I think what is important generally for nanotechnology, I think the answer is somewhat similar to my answer to the previous question. It is more about the inventive step. See, when you are reducing the particle size, what is that exact advantage for that particular size that you are getting in terms of technical improvement of the product? If you use a specific I would say particle size range, what is that technical advantage or what is that benefit that you are getting, that you should be very clear. Then I think you can very easily go for patenting of synthesis of nanoparticles.
good evening, sir.
Yeah.
This is Dr. Ubai.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Your session is too much interactive, and there are so many comments coming from participants.
Yes, ma'am.
I have one question. Once the patent has been granted, what is the maintenance cost of that patent?
Okay, ma'am. Honestly, the maintenance cost starts as low as 800 rupees per year, and it reaches almost 12,000 at the end of the 20 years as such. So for first 2 years, it's free. After that, for 5 years, it is 800 rupees per year. It gets increased actually. It becomes 1,600, 3,200, 6,400, and 12,800. So that's you have to pay every year basically. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. There is one another question.
Yeah.
After granting the patent, can I license that patent to other one?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's okay. Let me tell you an analogy actually. Uh, Honestly, it's like your property. It's like your home. You can rent it out if you want. So you rent it out, get the licensing fees. If you don't want to stay, rent it out, right? So you would get the rental. We call it royalty now in patent licensing, basically. You can even actually, in India, the concept is not that much known. You can actually mortgage it as well. You can get a loan over your IP as such. Of course, we have to repay that, let's say, and you can even sell out your IP as such. So everything is allowed. It's like your property. That's why it is called intellectual property or intangible property, ma'am. Yeah.
Thank you so
Uh,
much, sir.
Good evening, sir. This is Professor Aditya Dhobre here.
Yes, sir.
I have just one question. You said design IPRs are specifically made for fashion industry and some other domains. But sir, in some of the cases, if you look at some mechanical devices, their shape, size, their material, the way they look, it matters. So in that case, doesn't it matter that we have to go for design IPR first?
No, so I'll tell you, Aditya, so what matters is, again, as a scientist, what you are saying is this shape is significant for the performance or utility of the product. Am I correct?
Ah, yes.
Right? For your product, so mechanical engineering. So in that case, the first priority is getting a patent for that because it's a tech utility. So in that case, it's not like a design is not meant for that basically. But the priority as a scientist is to get a patent. Now in those kind of products, we go both for patents and design. We have many like inventions जहाँ पे patent as well as design file किया हुआ है because your design, so it's like a dual protection. But then the first one and the more stringent one which would give you more value would, as a scientist, it's patent first. Design, yes, it can be, as you rightly pointed out, if at all the design helps in terms of the performance of the device only. I hope that's very clear, Aditya sir.
Yes, sir, got it.
Yeah.
So we have got one more question. Vijay Sangolgi sir is asking. Now AI is booming in every area. How the AI tools is useful for drafting content of patent such as design?
Okay, honestly, sir, I mean, this is a pretty interesting question. AI is being used by a lot of attorneys or agents as well nowadays to draft patent, basically. But then, I mean, it cannot be just very generalized. It can be, I would say, it can help assist agents, let's say 60 to 70% work may be reduced, but fully replacing it with AI for patent drafting, I mean, it's challenging because this is more customized. This is, I would say, more dependent on what claims, what are the prior arts available. So even what happens, I'll tell you, if you give the same invention to 10 agents, they would draft it very differently. Let me tell you a very famous quote actually. Patent drafting is an art to put the science in a legal manner. Now, probably an AI can put the science in a legal manner, but that artistic thing, because that is also very crucial when you go ahead with the filing till grant, that entire journey, that is also very crucial actually. And I think that's where the real challenge would be for the, of course AI would pose a lot of different challenges moving ahead. Not, you're asking me from a patent agent perspective, I'm saying I would ask you a different question in terms of, what if AI is helping you to come up with a research? Would you be an inventor or the AI would be an inventor? Those are also the kind of questions that we are entering into. And of course, we can have a full session on this later if required. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll take up a last question if any. Yeah, I think there are no questions as such. So let us move on to the next part as a vote of thanks. So it is an honor to have the opportunity to deliver vote of thanks after such impactful session. On behalf of NK Orchid College of Engineering and Technology, Solapur and ATAL Academy, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to Vijay sir for sharing his valuable expertise and inspiring thoughts with us today. Thank you very much, sir.
All my pleasure, sir, and it's very great connect to each one of you. And I hope someday I'll see you in person as such, and would be happy to assist everyone to, like, ensure that we have a great ecosystem at the institute, at the university, and at all your individual for your all individual research as well. Thank you, everyone. Have a great evening.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Now we'll take a break of 5 minutes, and the next session will start at 7:30. Thank you.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Okay, sir, we will start the session within 2 minutes.
That's fine.
Okay, sir.
So correct, sir. By then you can add sir as co-host.
Pardon me?
No, sir. I'm asking the host to make you co-host so that it will become easy
Okay,
for you.
okay. Okay, okay.
Yeah, so dear participants, welcome back. Without further delay, now we are ready to dive into next part of the today's session. Let's keep up same enthusiasm and energy you have showed in the first session. Moving ahead, let's continue our journey in exploring from ideas to innovation, a patent landscape approach to the science and technology correlations. We have with us today a second eminent speaker who will spare his valuable insights on the topic patent, a case study. Let me take this opportunity to introduce our great speaker, guest speaker today. So, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our esteemed speaker, Dr. Padmakar Kelkar sir, for second session. It's my indeed privilege to introduce Dr. Padmakar Kelkar sir. Dr. Kelkar sir has remarkable
अगं कोणा काही हे बोलतो लोक ऐकतात काय म्हणला माझ्याजवळ बसून बापू झालाय फारच आणि ते मी ऐकलं ते तुझ्या बायकोने लगेच असं हे टव करून बघितलं
Just give me a
असं
moment, sir.
बोल ते
ते बोलते
माणूस एक सारखं पाया पडायला लागला ह्याच्याने बोलायला लागला तर किती कडक करायला लागले ह्याच्यासाठी थांबलो हो
sorry for the interruption, sir. Yeah, so let me take this opportunity to introduce our esteemed speaker today. Dr. Padmakar Kelkar has a remarkable and accomplished career in the field of electronics and communication, instrumentation and control systems, especially with the focus on water resources and irrigations. He holds extensive academic qualifications, including PhD, focused on monitoring and control of canal network in developing countries. He holds 6 Indian patents in his name. His patent and works in irrigation system like solar powered irrigation and water flow controls highlights his contributions to sustainable agriculture practices. Dr. Padmakar has held notable positions, including research officer at Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, that is TIFR, and has served as a senior international consultant on SCADA, irrigation and water distribution systems in several countries like Tajikistan, Ghana, and Nepal. He has been recognized with the National Award for Commercializable Patents by the Technology Information Forecasting and Assessment Council, Department of Science and Technology, New Delhi, in year 2013-14. He has publications widely in both national, domestic and international journals. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Padmakar Kelkar sir, whose wealth of experience and expertise will surely provide invaluable insights during today's session. I kindly request you, sir, to enlighten the audience with your valuable knowledge. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Sir, you are not audible.
Now I'm audible?
Yes, sir,
Yes,
you are
sir, you
audible.
are.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome you all. In fact, by now you must have, got the detailed information about what is novel, what is patentable, what is not patentable, what type of patents you have, and so on and so forth. My approach to have these patents was mostly from my field problems. So in principle, I would like to say that any problem given to you can lead to a patent maybe in a few years of time, because problem solving is basically the job, and if you can do it perfectly, then you are the best person to get the patent. See, by most of the patents are, basically problem driven. I will tell you one by one, slowly. Secondly, I would like to request anybody that if you have any problem, you are most welcome to ask me in between, because many times it so happens that you have a problem, you think of a problem now, but by the time the session ends, you must have forgotten about it, and then later on you repent for it. So this should not happen. You are most welcome, and talk to me. There is no problem. As already introduced, I am into water sector for almost since 1999, 91. Probably we were the first people in this session. My basic degree is in ENTC, but my most of the work as on today is in civil, that is water sources and so on and so forth. So many times it so happens that after discussions, if I hand over my visiting card to them, everybody finds it, oh, you are a ENTC guy. And then everybody realizes that ultimately it is the multidisciplinary issues which comes into the picture and how you take it forward. To be very frank with you, it started probably in the 1991, because in 1988, I think one village in Konkan area called Zambarpala got drowned because two dams started releasing the water at the same time. And there was no communication between what is happening to the other dam. So at that moment of time, the Secretary Irrigation Department came to us and said that probably you are the people who can solve this problem. So we started working on it. So we did, dam automation system, flood forecasting, and so on and so forth. So this is how I started my career in water sector. Now, as I have told you, most of the solutions were problem given, because we were working on one project in Rajasthan, that is IGNP, Indira Gandhi Nahar project. It is about 700 kilometers of canal starting from Harikabaraj to Jaisalmer. There were almost 53 locations on the canal, and we made the system work. It was working fine. And all of a sudden, in the first winter session, there was a problem coming from my engineer, asking me, sir, the batteries are getting drained out within a day or two, and it is difficult to run the system. So I started thinking about it. Then I said, what is the problem? We have been designing it perfectly. We have designed it. It was working fine. At that moment of time, they reported to me, telling me that, oh, the sun is there only for about 1 or 1.5 hours during winter session in the northeast or northwest area, which started me to think on it. What problems? How can I solve this problem? Because increasing the batteries or getting it charged every day and putting it back to the site is very, very difficult, because these are really the odd sites on the canal length. There is no road, probably service road, which is not so fine. So I started working on it. Exactly during which time I was writing my PhD thesis on the same subject. So one of the topic in that subject was power supply. So during which time I started thinking, and then all of a sudden I thought that if I have a small generator being put into the canal, which will generate just enough power to run the whole system, that can solve the total problem. And this is how my another patent came in. So I started working on it, and then of course, see, putting a small generator in a running canal is very easy, and moreover, it is the ideal application. because you are required to control the canal only if the water is flowing. If not, you need not control or inspect the canal as well. So this was one of the ideal applications for this. So I applied for patent, and that I got I got the grant of the patent as well. So my viewpoint for this particular session is, see, there are a lot of new problems you face every day. And if you can really think of a appropriate solution, probably it is the best way to have the patent on your name, which will be useful and workable. So this is how I think we should take our job for the colleges, because I have seen, I'm working with many colleges like COAP and SVERI and so on and so forth. So I know that a lot of students are coming with lot of new ideas, and it is if you can really cultivate them in appropriate way, I think it is the right approach for colleges to go ahead. So this is how is my viewpoint. Similarly, it's so this was one of the issues during that time. Secondly, similar thing happened when it so happened that in 1995, French people did one job on Mazelgaon. Though the scheme was absolutely ideal on paper, it failed miserably in India because people sitting in France could not understand what is the ground reality at the site. So even if I give a command to open the gate may not operate because there is no power at all. So what can you do? So this was also another approach on my issue, was that if we make the gate to work on solar, which was really a novel concept at that time. So I thought that if I have a solar system in place, so a solar system will charge the battery enough to operate the gate, and then of course it can work together, and then the gate can be modified to suit the application. So similar was my another patent for solar operated gates. So this is how the scheme is going on. Similarly, there was a problem in United States. They have one system to irrigate the water to the field, and that is known as central pivot irrigator. So one of my friends in US, he wanted to have this pivot to be to move in a straight line, because most of the pivots move in a zigzag fashion. It is difficult to go into more details at this moment of time, but to make it move in a straight line, as well as to make it work on the solar system. So this was the problem. So I went there 4 or 5 times, then made the system work. And see, similar to my other applications, solar power is ideal application for that central pivot, is because you are needed to water the field only when there is sun and water is needed. When it is needed, when there is no sun, of course, you need not water the field at all. So this is how the system is operating. So applied for that patent, I I got the grant of that patent. Of course, we had tried to apply for 3 American patents. However, though they got published, but we gave up because it was very expensive to have that patent done during those times. So this got improved. So after coming here, that particular product, which is central pivot irrigator, which was suitable or economical only about 25 acres of land. and most of our land holding in India is very low, so 3 or 4 acres or so. So after giving a lot of thought, I thought that I should make a similar model for 3 acres. I gave lot of thought how can it be made economical and so on and so forth. So after a lot of study, I applied for the patent, and now I'm telling you how critical or how difficult is to face the examination report. So during the examination, the examiner asked me, "You already have a patent for a big pivot. Why do you want to have a patent for a small pivot? It is almost a small version of your big pivot." But I said, "Sir, this is totally a different product, different concept, different use. So I should, very difficult to, face him." So finally I asked him, "Sir, daban, we call it as daban, is used to stitch the, big cloth. Now that is also daban. That also works for the same joining hands, and a small syringe, syringe string, which is also a same one, but the syringe is different than the daband." So it was after this argument, so I got the grant of the patent. So my viewpoint at this moment, you should be really thorough of what you are being talking about as the patent, what you are being saying. So like this, I have been working similarly. It so happened that when I was working on that patent for gates, um, uh, we used to use a sensor, a plural type of sensor. As the technology improved, we got one sensor which can do the same job. So I had to reapply to get the patent which can control the gate with single sensor, and like this we went ahead. So this is how is my journey for my various patents. So uh, my request is, first of all, if you have any idea of which you feel can get patent, it is better to approach the patent attorney. And my request to everybody is, instead of writing a patent by our own, which doesn't have the lawful application, it may be odd. So even if you have all the patent with you, somebody will take advantage of the same because it doesn't fit into the particular language. So my request is you go to the patent lawyer, and then we can that is the best way of looking at it. Though it might be expensive, but it is worth doing it. Otherwise, it is really of no use. I'm telling you one of my first, first-hand experience. I had some concept of my new patent. So I went to my patent attorney. I talked to him, and then the answer given to me was such a odd. He said, "Kelkar, I will see that you will get the grant of this patent. But even if something goes wrong or it is infringement, I will not fight the case." Do you know what does it mean? So there can be patents, but ultimately we are doing it patent to safeguard our own technology being copied and so on and so forth. So this is how the system is. Have you got any doubt? Hello? Hello?
No, sir.
No. Okay. So this is my idea that henceforth any idea which is any problem which is which has come to you, I think you should take advantage of that problem, try to resolve the problem, try to get it clean, and then it is very likely that you can get the grant of the patent, which can be useful for your lifetime application, to have a startup, to have getting a loan from the bank and so on and so forth. So this is my idea. This is what I wanted to say. I have a presentation for you, which is normal presentation. Probably you must have seen it a number of times, that which is patentable, which is not patentable. Then there is also another issue of copyright and then trademark and so on and so forth. If you feel that it is needed, I have it on my system. I can show it to you. Anything? Should I go ahead with that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Okay. So this is the intellectual property right for this. So what is patent? What is patent? So it is intellectual, an output of an intellect. And what is property? It is intangible, personal, and knowledge based. Then what are rights? Grant by the government of that country in lieu of public disclosure of knowledge or information. Justification is ethical, economical, or empirical. So this is how the whole system of intellectual property rights come into the picture. Now see, for example, various eye of one successful IP ecosystems. So this is how the various products are being ecosystem. Now you can see ecosystem types. For example, Kodak. If you take a Kodak as then it is a brand name. So it is under Trademark Act. So packaging is Copyright Act. Camera body is Design Act. Logo is Copyright Act. Literature is Copyright Act. Improved shutter is Patent Act. PCB is Internal Circuit Layout Act. And film coating process is Protection of Conforming Information. So the moment you have Kodak in front of you, you have got all these issues being taken care of. See, for example, now you take a case of TVS. So TVS is a trademark. Then that is patent. Engine is their patent. Then flame is their copyright. Then design is also it is a design for patent. So this is how the overall IPR ecosystem type, variety of types are there in this. So when you are talking of IPR, identifying subject matter, trademark, protects a name, brand, or logo that is used in commercial application to distinguish one company from other. Say, for example, life renewable every 10 years. See, for example, your college has a logo. So that logo gives a new person or a new student to know, oh, this is the logo and this is how the college is. So that gives you an impression that what is the concept of that particular logo. Similarly, patents, a set of exclusive rights granted to an innovator or its assignee in exchange for public disclosure of an invention. The validity of this is 20 years. Similarly, the copyright, type of IP protection that covers the works of art and any other artistic expression of ideas or concepts. Life of his author plus another 60 years. So even if the author is dead, that copyright is valid for another 60 years. So similarly, design of an IP protection that covers visual, aesthetic or any aesthetics of any product, the 10 years plus 5 years. So this can be the life of any system. Another, say, IPR, identifying subject matter. Now, for example, geographical indications. She signifies the name or sign used in reference to the product which corresponds to the particular geographical area or somewhat related to origin. Like, see, for example, there was Solapur Chadar. So Solapur Chadar is a effective patent for geographical indications. See, a person in Kashmir may not be able to sell the Solapur Chadar unless he has got the clearance from Solapur Chadar system. So like this, say Pandharpur Vithoba is a similar case. So it is geographical. Third one is your Kolhapur Chappal. So Kolhapur Chappal is geographical indications. Similar is the case with plant variety. So new plants or something of that sort can be patented. So 15 to 18 years. Semiconductor layout. Here is a very tricky idea that it protects the layout design of integrated circuits, and which is 10 years. So you when particularly ENTC people, when they make a board, they have to see that your boards are not being copied by somebody else, or your subordinate tries to copy it, take it out, and then start it on his own. So he can also be, come under the law, and he can be, pay the fine for it. One of my friend has already got similar, about 1 million dollars for his layout being taken out by his subordinate to other company. So this is also possible in this case. Say, trademark, which protects formula, pattern, any instrument design which keeps it confidential and through which any business or trade can edge over the rival. See, for example, it is the same case with iPhone and so on and so forth. So this is also very crucial as trade secrets. So this is what you have to have, that trade secret being, say, Coca-Cola, it is very difficult to copy because of their trade secret of formula. Similar is the case. So code, say quality of code, compliance with various licenses, and so on and so forth. See, for example, if I have written a code for something, some instrument, and it has been approved by many issues, so they have been protected by the law. Similarly, see, human resources is organizational ethics and behavior hierarchy, and this is also the case. Trademarks. So what I mean is, trademarks. So like this, trademarks you never know. Say Cadbury, Colgate, Tortoise, and so on and so forth. So why? See, for example, every company has a brand value. These are the old values. So Apple is $206 million. And then Samsung is $61.1 million. Facebook is $88.9 million, and so on and so forth. So this brand value has come from your trade well. So brand and brand value. So it is function of a business, legacy, identifier or uniqueness, goodwill, and avoid duplicacy. Then why? Say, why is capable of distinguishing the goods or services of those with others. So when you say Apple phone, so Apple phone is totally different than all other manufacturers of phone. So this is how it is distinguished between the two systems. Though they function the same way, it totally distinguishes the other way around. Many includes shape, their packages, combination, and so on and so forth. So these are various type of trademarks. So though this is the we are talking of patent, but a patent is a part which is of an intellectual property act. So I'm talking of all the other issues of intellectual property. So this trademark is one of them. Say, for example, marks can be of any way. Say, subway is of words, then sounds, then certification mark, 3D contains, and so on and so forth. So functions is identifying or origin of goods and services, identifies product and its origin. It proposes guarantee its quality and advertises the product. It creates an image of the product in the minds of public. So this is how it functions. Advantages of trademark registration that protects your hard-earned goodwill in the business. Say, for example, your college, it has been there for years together, so it has already earned it is goodwill really in a hard way. So it doesn't come very easily. So it protects your hard work, and it protects your brand name from being used in the same or similar fashion by any other business. There was a case of Kirloskars a few years back. So whether can they use the Kirloskar trademark for their application? So this is what there was a news that only one company can use that trademark of Kirloskar. So this is how the trademark registration changes, gives your product a status of branded goods, gives an impression to your customer that the company is selling some standard products and services, because that trademark impetus doesn't come by just by putting it on. So it gives a very important aspect for all this. Similarly, the exclusive right to use the trademark in relation to the goods or services in respect to which the trademark is registered, and so on and so forth. So power of assignment, it is you can transfer that trademark with other considerations. When should we have it? The trademark should be just the inception of business. So when you are going to start the business, you should have your trademark being defined and uh, put it to proper perspective. The inception of the new trade band in under the business. So when you should do it, when you almost at the inception of the business. Some common misconceptions. No need to wait for registration to start business. So you need not wait for the trademark to have registered. Trademark registration can be done only by trademarks in use. So you cannot register the trademark which is just in the air, and still that is not possible. So it has got to be, then trademark registration is necessary to seek the protection. The rival trademarks needs to be identical to bring action for infringement or passing out. So if somebody tries to copy your trademark, you can file a suit against him under infringement. So recent times, since 27 January 2020, US Patents and Trademark Office has received the following trademark applications: 16 applications for Corona, 28 applications for COVID-19, 26 applications for containing the COVID virus. So this is how a lot of people try to enter into that. Now, this is a very important aspect as far as we are concerned, because these are patents which are related to engineering. So these are the variety of patents you will see available. See, on the right hand is our Indian patent, then central one is US, and then this is publication. And how to invent, therefore how to protect. Invention versus discovery versus rearrangement. So these are the three aspects you have to considering while applying for patent. Three things. One is problem. This is what I'm been talking of from the beginning. Then solution. This is also another topic which I've been talking earlier. Third one is advantage. So what is the advantage? So you have a problem, you have a solution, and what is the advantage? See, for example, using a solar power for gate operation. So advantage is everything becomes immune of other aspects. So it becomes absolutely, uh, useful for all the applications everywhere. Now see, don't reinvent the wheel. So that is not worth. Then patents what? See, invention, a new product or a process involving an inventive state and capable of industrial application. So Patents Act 1970 India, or inventive step, a feature of an inventive invention that involves technical advantage as compared to the existing knowledge or having economic significance or both, that makes the invention not obvious to a person skilled in the art. Say, this is where I have an idea, but what is the use? How can I put it to application? So I have to prove it that it is better, it can solve the problem, and it is really useful to for the society. Now, what should an invention have? Say, test of patentability. So whether your concept is patentable, then invention versus discovery versus rearrangement. So creation of patentability. There are three major aspects. First is novelty, secondly is utility, and thirdly, which is non-obvious. So these are the three ways where whether it is patentable. See, for example, similarly is the novelty, text document. So from A to B or B to C is an invention. However, single to prior art, A to B, B to C, C to N, and M. So these are not the concepts. Say, for example, A to B, B to C is an invention. Then A to B is prior art 1, then B to C is prior art 2, and then this becomes total B. So this what is invention and prior art. So if you have published the paper of any of your idea, then that property that is already in a public domain. So it is available on a prior art. So if you have already published the paper or it is in the public domain, you will not be able to get the patent on this because it is already in the prior art. So if I go start for prior art, I will get all these data available to me through those papers. So but how do I go for a product? So from A to B, B to C, and C to D is ultimately it is rearrangement of the system. So prior art is A to D, B to C, and C to D to C. Even before that, concept versus enablement. See, for example, Wright brothers. Will not go into these details. If you want, I will send it to you. So during their experiments in 2019, The Wright brothers succeeded in controlling their glider in all the three axes during the flight: is pitch, roll, and yaw. Their breakthrough discovery was the simultaneously for roll control. So with the wing wrapping, the yaw control with the rear and with the rear rudder, the forward elevator control pitch. In 1903, they applied for a patent on their method of control. The application which they wrote themselves was rejected. In 2004, they hired a Ohio patent attorney, and on May 22nd, they were granted US patent number for flying machines. So, as I have already told you, that it is better to approach the patent attorney when you have some idea. So, but he takes care of all the legal aspects, copywriting method, how to write the patent is also very, very critical. So my advice is, go to any patent attorney. He might charge for you for it, but it is worth doing it. So similar is the case with Wright brothers in 1902. So the patent's importance lies in its claim of new and useful method of controlling flying machine, powered or not. The technique of wing wrapping is described, but the patent explicitly states that other method instead of wing wrapping should be used for adjusting, and so on and so forth. So these are the concept was lateral control was basic. So this is how even in US, they have been, fighting for and writing the patents on this in this way. So for example, Ola, Uber, how do they operate? Most important issue in our case is non-patentable subject matter. So I have seen that many people come with an idea and they start thinking that I can get a patent on this. But that is really not the case. We have to see whether the concept is patentable or not. So this is how we can discuss. So Section 3 and Section 4 of Patents Act 1970. So basically, method of performing a mental act of playing a game, what cannot be patented. So what say method of performing or mental act playing the game is cannot be patented. So any shot I make, say for example, if I make a cover drive, that cannot be patented. So this is while uh, uh, performing system. Similarly, discovery of formulation of scientific principle, abstract theory, living thing, non-living thing in the nature, plant or part of plant, animal, treatment of animals, and so on and so forth. That is also cannot be patented. Contrary to established natural laws, public order, or morality. See, for example, probably we are aware that Halad patent was rejected in US because we acted right on time, because we have been using it for years together. Similarly, copyright work, algorithm of a computer program per se, or photography of integrated circuits. So this also cannot be uh, uh, patentable. Similarly, mere admixture and mere rearrangement. So if you are just say 10 things are available already, and by rearranging those 10 things, if I come out with any product, that cannot be patented. So this rearrangement of things is not patentable. So we have to be very careful in knowing what can be patented. So technical advantage is modularity, customizable, improved output, unmet needs, and ease of action. So these are at least the technical advantage your system should have to get it patentable. Say, for example, rights of the patent, product, so exclusive right to prevent third parties who do not have his form, the act of making, using for sale, selling, or importing of this purpose of the same product in India. So if you have a product with you, this is the it is this prevents others from doing it. So similarly, process the exclusive right to prevent third parties who do not have this consent and so on and so forth. So if your process is being patented, these are the things you are very sure. What can be patented? Patented statutory subject matter, say process, an act or series of acts or steps. So this can be patented. Machine, a concrete thing consists of parts or of a certain device and combination of devices. So a machine, if you design have some machine, then it can be patented. Then manufacture, an article produced from a raw or prepared material by giving to those these materials new forms called quantity, qualities, property, combination, uh, whether by hand or by machine. So if you manufacture something having already things done, then it is patentable. Then composition of matters, all the composites of two or more substances and all the composite articles, whether they will result into chemical union, mechanical mixture, and so on and so forth, this of solids and for example. Then why? Purpose. Why patent? It is a creation of an asset for licensing or selling. This is what I heard from the other gentleman, that once you have a patent, you can, this is absolutely like an asset. So like your house, so this is intellectual property, that it is protection, recognition, deterrent, and insurance. So this is all this is the thing why you need to have a patent. Then who? A person who is dissatisfied with the existing patent. Who is inventor? In principle, as I have told you, who can be an inventor? If somebody comes out with a problem and tries to, solve that problem. See, for example, if something is going on and I feel that, oh, this is not the correct way of looking at it. If I can modify it and it can improve the existing system, then he can be an inventor or uses the dissatisfaction to create a unique product or process. Similarly, if you are dissatisfied, obviously you will try to improvise, and then he becomes a basic inventor. When, say, a plausible solution with a technical advantage of any technical problem. So, and this is, see, as what I've told you earlier, how my patents were being, more of, solving a technical problem to before it is being disclosed by any other person. So this is what it is. Prior art. Yesterday's research is today's prior art. So somebody has done a research yesterday, he has published it. Obviously, it becomes a prior art of today's, like paper publications or patents. So somebody has the same idea yesterday, he had applied for patent. When he gets a grant of patent, that is a prior art. So paper publication is exactly the way I told you, that if you have published a paper on some article, so that paper is an prior art of today. So how the system of how how you can use the patent systems here. Similarly, this is the patent. See, for example, how do you go about it? Say, then this is United Patent System. This is abstract. This is standard available, so I'll not go into more details on this. This is where we come into the picture of Indian patents. So here, when you go to IPR, Indian, you will see this slide, during which time you can find out granted patents, published patents, application status, agents register, and patent registers as well. See, for example, you wanted to know how many patents I have on my name. So you can go get to granted patent, put my you can select by name, my name, submit. You will get all the data of patents granted on my name. Similarly, it will give you the published application, then it will give you application status that it is published, the first examination is over, second examination is over, and so on and so forth. So this, this gives you a lot of ideas on what is happening at a patent office. Then how? So how do what is the time frame from idea? So first stage is I got an idea today, that is zero date. So stage 2 is file provisional patent. So priority date from say 5 to 10 days. Later on stage 3, search for novelty and invention step. After filing the this what happens after the filing of provisional patents. Then stage 4, file complete specifications. So once you have published the paper, send your patent for publication, you have to give the complete specifications in the first 12 months of filing the provisional patent. So you have to be very careful about this time frame. And see, this is very, very crucial because you have to finalize all the complete specification during this time. Then stage 5 is it is optional, file for early publication. So you can say that you can pay slightly more so that it will be done faster in 18 months of filing provisional patent. Then stage 6 request for examination in the first 48 of months. See, for example, once you have published the complete specifications, then you have to ask for request for examination. As I have told you, during examination, they have all the right to ask any question that how it is better or how it is different from others and so on and so forth. So the first examination report reply, then see, many times it so happens that they give you the list of patents and asks you how your patent is different than theirs. So this is also the also happens. So they might have first examination, second examination, third examination, and so on and so forth. So after that, they either reject the patent or it is grant of the patent. So this is how the whole structure operates. Now coming back to PTC. PTC application is you want to have the we have to apply for international patent. So that is known as PTC application. So that is international publication. And then after you prosecute till apply of grant patent, and then when you want to go and reapply in that particular nation, so you have to go there and reapply for your patent in that nation. So this is how the patent for international system also operates. And to be very frank with you, during the request for examination, the examiner is has all the liberty in the world that he most of the time he gives the reference of US patents. So he gives the patent name and details, and then US patent you have to define that how it is different from theirs. So this is also a very tricky idea, because the examiners know their job very well. They know it well in advance, and you have to be really prepared for to face the examination. So this examination is even tougher than what examination you are giving in the colleges. Then why? Say intellectual property likes impact. So these are the impacts you have. How? How? Say what is the good patent draft? So think like an infringer. So if I'm writing a patent, then I should think that what will the infringer will think on this. So if I make one word, see for example, multiple sensors. So tomorrow the infringer will use one sensor and say that this is different and I'm not infringing your patent. Similarly, think like a lawyer. So how the lawyer will find out, say I will try to find out the loopholes in the system. Thirdly, think like an examiner. So if I am an examiner, what customers will I ask? What questions I will ask to for this? Similarly, think like a customer. So for example, if the customer comes to us, then he will ask him how it is better than this, how you can think of it. Similarly, think like an investor. Say for example, suppose you want to manufacture your patent instrument for patent, and you want the funding from somebody or investors. Now, what will the investor ask you? So what is marketability? How will you do it? And so on and so forth. So at that, so when you draft the patent, this should be also considered in your application. And think like your licensing executive. So these are the good patent draft. You have to think on those aspects. Say, how do you save idea? Then invention is patent. Innovation integration process, business competition and ultimately monetization is our goal for doing all this. By doing just for patent, that is of no use. You should be able to earn out of it. So ultimately, money is the issue which you must consider using going for application. I know at many colleges, it has been seen that just a patent on their name, gives you an added advantage. But it is really of no use. You must use your patent for application so that in turn you get the money out of it as well. Copyright, should I go for copyright? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So copyright, what are the type of copyrights? So this was more on a art circle, but anyway, say for example, literary work, artistic work, sound recording, musical notations, or cinematic work. So these are the type of types for this thing, copyrights. See, protect your original work of an author, say musician, painter, photographer, and so on and so forth. So similarly, it is writer, copywriter, editor, translator, and so on and so forth. So programs are program writer, and these are the copyrights you can have for your own applications. See, then interesting case. Say, for example, this was the case. So I will not go into more details. So design registration is also another critical part. So design focuses on aesthetic features of an article derived from its own visual appearances. Relevant aspect is shape, configuration, surface patterns, all or any of which, when applied to article, produces an impressions of sense of that slide. See designs, so you can see all those designs which can be patented on design side. So flock on this end can be aspect. IPR for startups, tips and resources. I think this is the topic which will be related more on colleges and because colleges are the basic schemes to impute us to have a startups. So this I think is another best. Do your own IPR search. Okay, people are smarter, faster than you. Do your then do not gloat. People are better listeners than you think. They think better. Seek professional help. You cannot and should not do everything by yourself. So these are the IPR for startups. What should you should do and what you should not do. So this is how the initially start from invention, then location, say New Singapore, how it started, then it came ease of business, then academia is the basic issue, build, collaborate for market and so on and so forth, and ultimately is the goal here. How do we find it? So this is how an invention, then this is the goal, then you get 2 here, 3 here, and ultimately final is this. So this is what ink it, own it, correct it, swage it, and should do all this. In the end, the best method to predict the future is to invent it, and the best way to own the invention is to protect it. So this is how was
Yeah, thank you, sir.
any questions?
Thank you, sir, for such informative, engaging, and enlightening session. Your insights into today's topic have provided us with new perspective and wealth of knowledge. Now, move on to the question answer session. Participants can ask their questions, if any, through chat box, or you'll able to unmute yourself.
Hello, any questions?
Yeah, participants, if you have any questions, you can raise your
Sir,
hands.
this is Aditya Dhobre here. I have a question, sir, related to you shared a very insightful things and rightly focused on the problem first. So, according to you, what should be the area on which the students should focus or the faculty should focus currently so that you can say applied things can be done more in it, which is a neglected area, you can say, where we can get faster results.
I agree with you because I have seen that. See, I'm going to Pandharpur quite often, and there are so many small issues in your in your field that one can think of doing it very easily. And any see what happens is most of the time student come up with idea, and we just neglect it. But we should give a thought on this, which can improve the application of the system. See, for example, we had been to one sugar mill, and now what is happening is sugar cane is coming in normal also and in crush form also. So if the sugar cane comes in crush form, can we avoid one step which is being crushed, crushing the sugar cane? This is what one should really ask himself, and there can be a solution which can improvise the whole show. If you avoid one operation in the whole area, that saves you a lot of money, time, and everything. So I think you should not any student comes with an idea, we have to give a thought on this.
Thank you, sir.
Obviously, it is more ideal to solve that problem first and then think of it.
Yes, sir.
Now, in your area, there are a lot of problems which can fetch ideas. For example, yours is sugar belt, and there are so many problems in sugar that even if you think of one by one, there can be a great opportunity.
Okay, sir.
Okay, the participants, if have any questions, please raise your hand. Also, participants to note that the feedback link of both the sessions is shared in the chat box. It will not be shared in a WhatsApp group. So take a note of it. Yeah, if there are no questions, we'll
Thank
move
you
ahead
very
to,
much.
yeah, we'll move ahead
And
to a
if you have
last.
if you have any doubt on what can happen, you can contact me anytime. I know since I have faced this music 6-7 times, I am aware of what can be the method.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, so moving to the last part of the today's session, a vote of thanks. It's an honor to propose vote of thanks after having such informative and inspiring session. On behalf of NK Orchid College of Engineering and Technology, Solapur, and ATAL Academy, I extend my sincere thanks to Dr. Kelkar sir for sharing his valuable expertise and his thorough knowledge with us today. Thank you, sir, once again. And I hope everyone will be benefited in some or the other way by today's session. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very
And
much.
with the
Thanks.
with the
Bye-bye.
permission, yes, sir. With the permission of coordinator, I declare that today's session is over. The
Yes, sir.
participants are requested to, okay, ma'am. The participants are requested to fill the Google form, feedback form. Thank you all and good night.
Okay, good.